Welcome to the Take It Home podcast. Podcast so bad we really should just take it home. I am one of your hosts, Doc Simmons. You can find me on all social media at Doc Simmons at Doc Simmons 17. Tonight I've just got one with me. I'll go ahead and give the hot tag to the ref. Let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Referee Perch. You can find me at Perch XLV. Pound sign for the ref brand. Waffles. Take it home podcast.
Waffles. How was the breakfast hunt out in
Ooh,
Atlantic City?
breakfast hunt. Not too much in the way of breakfast foods. However, uh, could be considered breakfast because it was about midnight, 1 a.m. Enjoyed a nice Philly cheesesteak outside, and
Okay.
yeah, it hit. It hit hard. It was beautiful. Um, yeah, about as good as it gets. Had a breakfast slice of pizza early one of the mornings too. Something about that bread on the East Coast
Good.
is phenomenal.
That
They
water's
don't
different. That's what
get
it
out
is.
here.
That water's different. You're making the dough.
Yep, it's the water.
It's in the
It
water.
makes a difference.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to have the lady make some waffles. Had me two nice Belgian waffles. Big stack. It was very good. I think Saturday and Sunday. So,
Ooh,
we're all about the waffles on this podcast. So it was very good. Very good. And what we're also about is those bangers of the week. Perch.
ooh.
Yeah.
Banger of the week. Well, I've been going back and watching some old movies. One of the more recent one I watched was Paris Blues with Paul Newman and Sidney Poitier. Uh, Damn good movie. Really good music throughout the entire thing. Some good kind of jazz music. Big band. Duke Ellington was the leader of the band back then, and he was the guy who did the music. So I've been listening to a lot of good instrumental, old school music, and one that hit this week. It's a classic. One of the songs probably heard throughout our entire lives. Um, but this rendition was damn good, and it's my favorite things. John Coltrane.
Oh, I don't think I've heard his version of that song.
Ooh, it is good. Like hitting the right music at the right time, and yeah, that song really hits well in this kind of wintry spring mix.
Yeah,
Window.
whatever we're getting this year, whatever this winter is, bad at really bad at some points, and then we get days like today where it's been pretty damn nice.
Hmm. And like Kenny G during Christmas time, some good blues, some good jazz during the springtime, winter time. Yeah, really hitting nice. And yeah, some Duke Ellington, Sam Cooke. Been listening to the voice on him is phenomenal.
Yeah,
Uh, and definitely a little bit of Coltrane and the horn. I like Duke Ellington with the piano a little bit more than say Coltrane with the horn, but it's all just amazing music. If a
yeah,
CD has 5 songs, you're hearing some good chill ones in there. You got it.
definitely, definitely. Um, I wonder, like when you put in the search, a bunch of people's version of this song comes up. I'm gonna have to enjoy myself. Wait a minute. I didn't know you had this. Let's see what this is about. All right, Perch. I know you probably saw some of it, but let's ask, what did you watch this week?
Yeah, this week in pro wrestling, didn't really get a full chance to watch the AEW Revolution, uh, but
It's
the
all right.
matches going
It
into
would
it.
have been a sad day in the Perch household.
Yeah, evil spirit. Um, but yeah, did catch some Monday Night Raw last night. John Cena coming back. Big fan.
Yeah.
Big fan. No matter what he's doing, it just brings me back to the times. There was time before Cena, and then before he left completely. I like when John Cena, like big fan, and and yeah, anytime he can come back for a match or a story, I'm gonna be completely invested. It's uh, it's got me hook, line, and sinker.
It was real good. it definitely just like showed the difference of what that era was on the mic and what the new era is. He ate Theory alive on the mic. It was good.
Yeah, he really did. And just the stuff that he's throwing out there and the effort, effortless approach to it. Just
Yeah.
no one hits quite like John Cena. And yeah, it's a good promo. It should be some good heated fight, in the future here.
Oh
Um
yeah.
promo
Hype video should make for
that
a pretty good hype video.
Oh, exactly. I mean, that promo that they cut was like, oof, they're both taking shots here.
Yeah.
And yeah, it should be some good animosity coming in. Um, I really enjoyed watching Moxley's promo last week. Took place after the match that he had the week before, and he's in that staircase with all the blood just pouring face. It was like such an intimate, you know, uh, camera shot and camera angle. You felt like you were enclosed in that staircase with him, and in the uncomfortableness that it, delivered. Yeah, I can't wait to go back and give that match a watch because good vibes going into it and a great little feud brewing between the two of them. So
No, yeah, that was
love
a
the
very
intrigue.
good one. That might have been my match of the night.
Ooh, yeah.
What? Nope. I forgot about two. I forgot about the main and that six man. It's a very good pay per view all around. Hard to pick one, but that's definitely in competition for match of the night.
Ooh, good, good. Yeah, I've been hearing good reviews. I can't wait to give it a watch.
Same. I did watch Dynamite last week, but I can't remember a lot of it because that Revolution pay per view was really good. I didn't see much of the first match between Jericho and Starks, which was a little disappointing. I will try not to spoil anything for you. Jack Perry, Christian Cage. I had no idea that it was a casket match. And I'm guessing also that because it was called a last burial match, WWE probably has a trademark to a casket match, like it does triple threat. um, but
That's
very
great.
good. Got to see a little dark side of Jungle Boy, which we don't really get to see ever. Not saying that he's like a white meat baby face, but he's definitely never been like brutal. So it was a nice change of pace from that. Cage, Christian, consummate professional. Um, Good job healing it up. Do good job being the shit heel. Trying to run away from Jungle Boy and then realizing that he's running towards the casket and that's a bad idea. So having to run back. But yeah, that one was very fun. Yes, the trios championship match, the Elite versus House of Black. Um, I'm sure people have said a lot about this. Like they could have done a little less, but it was just a fun match to watch. And just those six guys are really good at everything they do. And if you were to say, hey, what can we cut? I'm not sure what we would cut. Um, the Meltzer driver counter into the pump knee from Buddy Murphy is probably going to be on replay for the next year. The timing on that was ridiculous. The counters back and forth between Kenny and good old Malachi, our good homie, were awesome. Hoping that we get a singles match out of that. Brody King, our role buddy, looking like a monster. Happy that they're going back to him doing that hanging sleeper because that just looks vicious. But yeah, no, that was just a really fun match. Yeah, spotty, but it's one of those little why would you have the Bucks on if you didn't want that? Every match has a place on the show, and that one was a good just get hype one, which I believe, yeah, made the triple threat women's title match a very hard follow for the crowd. started up off a bit slower, but as they're getting towards the end, definitely picked up the pace. Uh, Jamie Hayter is such a homegrown star. It's awesome to see like the journey that because I'm pretty sure she was a day one tiny. And just for her to be like top baby face now, and because she's a baby face, Britt Baker is a baby face. It's very good. Shocking ending. But real fun. Just love the aggressiveness of Hater. Ruby Soho is awesome, and it was good to see Saraya actually like move around and do some stuff and take some bumps that kind of make you go, ugh, are you sure you should be doing that? Uh Moxley versus Page. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. Another moment from this show that'll be on replay forever. Um, Censors providing is going to be Moxley having Page in the triangle and stabbing him in the head with that fork. Yeah, yeah, it was real good. They're both a bloody mess at this point, anyway. So, but, yep, and also don't know how Moxley works with that fork in his boot. It looks like that he keeps pulling it out of because he didn't pull it out like at the beginning of the match. They had gone for a bit, and then he pulls it out of his boot. um, but no, very good. The freaking barbed wire wrap chair in the corner that Paige ran into. They Somebody posted pictures afterwards, and there's like a chunk of his hair still stuck to the chair.
Oh,
Yeah. But very good. Moxley's counter of the buckshot lariat into the Death Rider was super smooth. Which kind of like stood out in this bloody brawl because like arguably like the only technical thing in the whole match. But yeah, very smooth, very, very smart of him. And yeah, wild finish, wild finish. Don't want to spoil it for you, but wild finish.
no, I can't wait to give it a watch.
Yep. And those two are probably to pull off that finish. Those two have got to be in the conversation just for like the best to pull that off as good as they did. Uh,
Yeah, too good. They bring it
yep.
every time.
Um, Samoa Joe versus Wardlow, of course. Big Samoa Joe fan. Very good. Good to see Wardlow back. I'm really loving what they're doing with Hobbs and the Book of Hobbs, and they just had the camera focused on him while he was in the crowd, um, just ready to take on whoever. Big Hoss battle between those two, which also was kind of in a rough position after that Moxley Page match. It was definitely one of those where you feel like everybody's trying to have match of the night, and like at worst people are throwing out B pluses, but those A's are really really good. Next, the three-way tag match. Once again, very surprising finish to that one with the guns, but Jeff Jarrett is like just our generation and our wrestling type, just ultimate heel. I don't think people will ever forgive him for those Impact years. So he has solidified himself there. Uh, Danhausen's interactions with Jarrett are hilarious. I need a one-on-one program with them. Good to see Danhausen wrestling. Um, he's been kind of on the sideline for a while. I know he was working through an injury, but it was good to see him go out and do his thing because he can actually work really well. Main event, MJF, Brian Danielson. Uh, surprising. It was very good, very good. but not a lot of falls. It felt like not a lot of falls. Um, great storytelling by MJF as always. With him going out to get water the whole match, and that kind of leading into the finish. Why the ref is doing what he's doing. Um, but just a very smart match. That was definitely a more story driven match that you don't realize how much story is put into it until the end. But yeah, those guys can go. For people who only think MJF is a mouth, nah, he can go too. So very good. Did not feel like an hour, but very good match. And that's no, I watched Raw last night too. Raw was pretty good. Um, oh, the freaking main event or Sami Zayn versus Jimmy Uso. Um, just continuing that bloodline story. Jay coming out at the end. You don't know whose side he's going to pick. Looks like he's going to roll with Sammy after the match. That damn super kick. Um, he did bring a point. He's like, did you really think I would choose you over family? It's like, all right, yeah, you're right, you're right. But yeah, very good. Happy to see that that's continuing. I really think if Cody doesn't do it at Mania, it's got to be Jay. He's got to get Roman back because he was the first one that he put down. So really, really excited to see where that goes. WrestleMania is shaping up real nice. All right. Well, yes, that is it for what I've watched, but let's talk about the Russells that we did. Why don't you kick it off, Perch?
Yeah, very fun week. Made it out to Atlantic City, New Jersey for Game Wrestling and Jersey Championship Wrestling. Had an absolute blast. 3 shows in 2 days. First match I had of JCW March Madness was main event against Young, Dumb, and Broke. Good tag team match, guys from the Northeast, and good tag teams. Uh, Fun match the entire time. Good characters. Next match I had was Alec Price defending his Battle Bowl Golden Ring, Diamond Ring, against CPA, who is quite the character. Uh, that was a hell of a match. Good top rope brainbuster and a kick to the back of the head for a finish. Yeah, very fun show. That was Saturday afternoon, and then Saturday night, GCW Up in Smoke on Fight TV. Um, the Jersey Championship Wrestling is on YouTube for watching, and then the GCW shows are on Fight Plus. And yeah, this was a fun show. GCW, holy smokes! Opening match was a cool scramble with Gringo Loco, Alec Price, Jimmy Lloyd, Grim Reaper, Shane Mercer, and Carlos Romo. Grim Reaper is someone you have to see live to get the performance.
Yeah, talk about how I don't know how John Moxley works with that fork in his boot. I don't know how Grim Reaper keeps his balance.
Just a legend, absolute legend. Very cool to be able to work with him and get that experience. uh, yeah, he brings it and sticks the landing just about every time.
Yep.
Later, Gringo Loco ends up hitting his base bomb on Carlos Romo. Good size dude to get to. Uh, yeah, that's just incredible. One of the better scramble matches I've ever been a part of. Just a nonstop balls to the wall, 8.5 minutes, and done. um, Next match I had was Effie against Slade. Um, Slade, very scary character. And Effie is colorful and, you know, vibrant of a character as he can get. So very fun match, hard hitting the entire time. Effie ends up picking up the win and some wild chaos afterwards. Um, and then the last match I had that night was the co-main event with Rina Yamashita defending her GCW Ultra Violent Championship against Casey Kirk, making her GCW debut. A well-known deathmatch wrestler around the states and everything. That first time debuting with GCW, so it was a cool match to be a part of. Um, a pane of glass, a spear through the glass in the corner, uh, barbed wire doors set up outside the ring on a few chairs, and a superplex from the middle turnbuckle to the outside through the door on the barbed wire.
Mm.
It was satisfying the not getting to see the Moxley and Hangman Texas death match. Uh, got to take part in a Atlantic City, Jersey death match.
Just probably dirtier.
Death, as Moxley was the champ for GCW, he really set the bar.
Yeah,
If you weren't doing it on pay per view on Sunday, he would have been right there doing
yeah, doing it there.
it. Yeah, great match. Rena ends up hitting her splash mountain on a stack of chairs right in the middle of the ring. Big razor's edge and phenomenal match. They really went at it. As far as the death match goes, very entertaining, well sound, uh, good storytelling. Rena is a great storyteller inside the ring and just an amazing warrior in general. One tough SOB. And then the next day was GCW Ransom on Sunday, and that had some wild matches too. Um, it had Speedball Mike Bailey against Shane Mercer, the Iron Demon. Uh, that was a good match. Two guys who both wanted the win, and they both have a serious set of skills.
Yeah. Yeah. Speedball is the kicks and the flips, and Mercer is somehow the flips, but with you attached to him.
Just pure strength and muscle and leg power, and oh yeah, those two really went at it.
Freaking, you might not have seen the clip, but a freaking catching a moonsault and battery clip I saw like earlier today with somebody
Oh,
like yeah, diving from the balcony of some place. God damn.
yeah, I did catch
That's
that
not
one.
supposed to be something that can be hit out of anywhere.
That was incredible, incredible, and that was from out of nowhere. Um, yeah, Mercer is worth the price of admission to see him work. They had a good match, and Speedball coming out victorious at the end with the double knees. Um, Jordan Oliver defending his Jersey Championship Wrestling title against Blake Christian, and in the Jersey Championship match, you can't just blatantly use chair. And I saw it, I warned him, and he used it. And I called it. I threw the match out. Disqualification. Jordo keeps the championship. Blake Christian got disqualified. Is a pure heel. Just
Yep,
a
that jerk.
differences to be settled.
Redhead jerk.
Yep, the big old jerk. He beat up the referees at the Jersey Champ Cup. Blatantly disrespected this time around, but it always makes for a fun match, at least, and incredible between Jordan and Blake. Those two are really giving it everything they got. Watched a Blake Christian match with Zack Sabre Jr. From the other week, another one that was watched, and asked him about it, and yeah, he had some good feedback about that match. Cool to pick his brain a little bit, and yeah, very fun between him and Jordan. A couple of wrestlers I like to learn from inside the ring, as well as talk with outside the ring and kind of understand their theories on stuff too. Uh, and then the main event was Charles Mason against Ali Ketch. Um, and I was ringside for that one, working the door with the lock. Uh, Classic cage match. Nice to have a referee on the outside. Scarlett Donovan and I were on the outside. His ref Adam Galt was on the inside. We had his eyes outside the ring, so he could handle business inside. Pure chaos. That match was unbelievable. Probably a 30, 35 minutes of just storytelling and wild chaos and blood and run-ins and um, yeah, it was great. No one else made it into the cage, but close. Yeah, very very fun match to
Perch
close
took
out.
his job very seriously.
I did, took it very seriously. Had that key on me. I did get held up for the key at one point, and I gave it up without too much whimper, but I whimpered a little. Yeah, great time though. Very fun. Nothing like the Game Changer Wrestling shows on the East Coast, their home base. It's really cool to be able to learn as a student and gain experience out there.
Nice, nice. All right. For your mama's favorite tag team, uh, a little bit of a wild weekend because one show ended up getting uh moved and rescheduled because I guess certain places just aren't welcoming to wrestling anymore. Unfortunately, but Friday we were at the world famous La Pica Lounge, number 3, for Fourth Wall Wrestling with another shot at those golden jackets. Triple threat match. It was your mama's favorites, Country Air versus Caribbean Arrogance, and the champs, Theory of Asian Unity. Rivals past and looks like rivals new. Chaotic match. Um, Very fun. I think the crowd enjoyed it. Theory of Asian Unity is definitely coming along very well and being able to hold their own. Caribbean Arrogance. Our history needs not be explained. Last year we beat the hell out of each other, and Friday night we did it again. Came close, but once again, Theory of Asian Unity showing that they're smarter than their time in the ring would lead you to believe. Liquid Sword on Manny, Josiah posts me and steals the win. 1, 2, 3. Still your champs, Theory of Asian Unity, unfortunately. Happy with the match overall. Not happy with the end. Not happy that I went for the Randy Orton DDT and Josiah cut me off with a springboard dropkick. Um, not happy that
I wasn't happy either.
like that was my moment. I had the head shake and everything. um, Not happy that Wah is getting smarter and smarter with his mist. I don't even remember what they call their finisher anymore because they've changed the name like 3 times. But Caribbeans go for the finisher, mist in the eye of Chuko as he goes for the cutter. So yeah, real fun. Definitely 3 teams that know each other, and when we run this back, it will definitely be a different ending.
It's one of those. I caught that uh, the wheelbarrow into the mist. Um, you see it once. I won't be surprised if we happen to see that pop up randomly throughout the next
Yeah.
wrestling, where you see something unique and then you start noticing it.
Yeah. Right. Yep.
Like,
Everybody will start doing that.
oh,
Hey,
there it is.
Yep.
Like something goes up first. It's not like oh, they stole my thing. In some cases, maybe, but it's like in pro wrestling, once an idea is out there in the universe, there's some wrestler somewhere else who gets that same idea.
Yep. Peel the curtain back. The Randy Orton DDT dropkick, inspired by that Bang Bros Rascals match where they had the like DDT line, and then August comes off with the with the blockbuster. It's like, I'm cooking up something. So yeah, that's how we got to that. So yeah, the greats invent, legends steal.
Mhm. It's all about pushing each other and thinking of ideas. We're a collective, uh, team, whether we know each other or not.
Yep,
As a part, we're all trying to help the
yep, and just
business, do what we can.
yep, playing to all of our strengths. That's all. Find the inspiration wherever you can, and then play to your strengths. So yes, unfortunately, still your champs. Theory of age and unity, and then Saturday, yes, boos from the crowd abound. Um, then
Yeah,
Sunday, the show that was supposed to be Saturday, uh, Thou Alive, Survive and Endure, at the new venue, Parties on Pope in Nelson, Illinois, where Zach, myself, and the dojo went to settle some very heated business. Zach, sees all the factions that are coming up in Zawa and thinks that we need to join one and was trying to get us to join the dojo. I don't think we need one. I just think we need to kick everybody in the head and we'll be all good. So I told him if he has any misconceptions about what we need to be doing, he can sit down and I'll take both of those giants on myself. Was starting well, started hot, but then Jiggy Jack Spade is a vet of many years. Started using his vet tricks and dirty tactics to get the advantage. Um, but once they went low, Zach seemed to see the light, chose his side, and hopped up on that corner for me. Um, got it to clanging and banging. Showed those new fans there in Nelson what country air is all about, and eventually come up with the double submission win, a ring to Saturn and a Kimura / hoverboard lock for the win. So yep, country air, we are back together, stronger than ever in Zawa, and we will return and got our eyes on becoming 3-time Zawa Live Tag Team Champions. So yes, very fun weekend. Very fun weekend. Glad to be home. Like I said, felt like it been a while since the Sunday show, so my body was feeling it yesterday, but feeling good today. Um, and speaking of tag titles, why don't we move on to the topic for today? I asked the group, what would you like seen done with the ROH tag team titles? Um, a couple weeks ago, unfortunately, we lost Jay Briscoe, but Mark has been holding strong these past couple weeks. Seemingly just looking good there, Perch. But yeah, Mark doing his thing, carrying on his brother's legacy, coming to the ring with both of those titles. But I just thought I'd ask, hey, what do you want to happen in the future with these titles? I'll go first. Mine is actually very simple. I think they should rename the titles in Jay's name. Um, Jay was at the first show, was at the first Ring of Honor show. I always forget which one it was, whichever the younger one was there but couldn't wrestle. But the other one, first night, first match, they are staples of just the Ring of Honor locker room. When you talk about veterans and locker room leaders, you automatically think about the Briscoes. I think it would only be right if these guys who have held the titles for so long and who are so synonymous with Ring of Honor and with tag team wrestling and have inspired so many, including just about everybody on this podcast, I believe. I just think it would be right if they could rename the titles in his name. I don't have a name for him, but that's what they pay other people to do.
yeah, that's an awesome idea. I really had that thought too as to what's going to happen and where to next with them. Mark and Jay Briscoe are just such legends and synonymous with the ROH tag titles. It's almost brings a tear to the eye every time seeing Mark Briscoe carry that title solo.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because the impact that those guys have had on so many of us in this generation and even a generation before us and definitely generations after us.
Yeah.
I mean, it was such a blessing to be able to meet those guys and work with them and it, several different settings.
Yeah.
Every time I see the ROH world titles, it is tough not to think of Mark and Jay Briscoe. So I think the thought of, naming them, in the honor of the Briscoe brothers would be awesome. But if not, at least in my mind, and if not our minds, they will be known as the Briscoes.
Briscoes, yeah, the Briscoe world titles or something like that. We'll figure it out. Yeah, like I said, we don't they pay people to come up with these names. We ain't got it, but you can go ahead and take that TK. Take it and run.
Uh, but I would love to see him decided in a ladder wars. How many times the Briscoe brothers had been in ladder war matches with, you know, several different tag teams all at the same time, giving it everything they got. Um, I think you put in the best tag teams in the world right now into a big ladders war match and decide it that way. With put Mark Briscoe in there solo, put him with the tag team partner, have him rep it too, so he can defend. But yeah, I think a ladder wars match is how it should be decided in my mind.
I definitely wouldn't mind a ladders wars match because I would like Mark to defend them by himself for a little bit in his honor, and I think a way of peeling back the curtain of protecting everybody else is make the matches as wild as possible so Mark comes out on top. And I think ladder wars would be perfect for telling that story.
Yeah, that would be cool.
uh, Perch just pulling out the classics right now.
I've got some bad issues, so it's causing me to use the Zoom on the phone, and we're figuring out tips and tricks.
Like Perch is discovering himself right now on the podcast.
105, 110, 112. Well, might as well be episode 1 because
Perch figuring it out.
look,
um, starting to wind down. So, hey, Perch, what you got coming up this week?
this week is going to be a fun one. It starts off with freelance wrestling live Thursday night, 8 o'clock Central on IWTV. We'll be live at the Logan Square Emporium Arcade. Those shows are so much fun. They're so extra hype. People are right next to the ring, going balls to the wall, cheering loud, singing along, dancing. Um, yeah, the Emporium shows are a very fun vibe to be a part of. And yeah, it'll be on IWTV, 8 o'clock on Thursday. And then Friday, we are in Waukesha, Wisconsin, back at the Elks Lodge.
You're back, baby.
For a little Brew City Wrestling. Don't miss it. I sure won't. I can't wait. I'm excited. Yeah, so it'll be a Brew City Friday this Friday. Yeah, so I can't wait. It should be good to see all the fam and a lot of the inspiration and motive from the roads that we travel. It all starts with the Waukesha Elks Lodge.
Nice. Yep. And for us, I hope I'm right, and we just got one this weekend, and that will be the Elks Lodge on Friday. Where me and Zach are defending our Brew City Wrestling Tag Team Championship sips against the super athletes, Steve Boz and CJ Cole. been a while since we've gotten to work a tag match against CJ. But we used to run a lot back in maybe like 2 years ago, I believe, for ICW, with the Vape God. So it would be good to rekindle that rivalry. For of all the people at camp, CJ is one of the people that I've wrestled the least. So very excited to wrestle him this weekend. Not excited by the tactics that he's chosen to get to this point. Not excited that he is tagged up with Steve Boz. Might as well be the godfather of Chicago wrestling, I guess, from what we learned a couple months ago. Steve Boz, very storied history in Chicago. Apparently has trained everybody. Um, if you're a wrestler from Chicago, your training tree probably involves Steve Boz. Um, we have worked once before against him and TJ Steele on a very cold October night outside in Chicago with parking lot lights that weren't working consistently. And that match didn't end up in our favor, but luckily the folks at the Elks Lodge pay their bills, have electricians on call. So I am expecting a very different result on Friday, but super excited to be back at the Elks. Feels like it was a quick turnaround, which I'm, not upset with. Um, love the Elks. Had a singles match last time there, but very excited to finally defend those titles at home. Yeah, this is where we started, and it'll feel good. And with that, I think it's time we take it on home. So, Perch, any final thoughts or questions?
Yeah, I got to see somebody over the weekend who I haven't seen in a while, and someone going back to those Ring of Honor times that we got to help out and learn and get to experience. Uh, Brian Johnson, the Mecca. Um, he was a big help many years ago in teaching us what it takes to help with setup and teardown at a major pro wrestling show. Um, gave us all jobs to do for the days and opportunities, and and yet haven't gotten to see him for years. But the values that he instilled like are still
Would it
carrying.
have been since the last show of the before the pandemic?
Yeah, St. Louis in 2019,
Yeah,
I
time
believe.
flies.
Yep, that long ago. Um, so it was very cool. Just one of those true genuine guys. Um, if you ever see him as a pro wrestling fan, you'll hate him because he's an absolute heel. Not diet. He is a pure heel. But if you happen to work your ass off and join the pro wrestling business and put in time, blood, sweat, hard work, you may be revealed to him, you know, giving you some tips and some tricks. that on the road.
Or at
But
least some good times. I unfortunately did not have as many run-ins with him as I think literally everybody else on this podcast, maybe Gunner. I think I've had the least amount of contact with him with those Ring of Honor shows, but all of them are actually very good memories for me. I was not one of the ones that suffered his wrath as some people had. But he was the one that forgot to tell me to go home that one time. Yep, he was the, oh, you're still here? Yeah.
yeah,
And
I'm
then
so
yeah, that last show, I can remember us uh we do the like pre-show camp and everybody's coming in, and then you see Brian Johnson just running stairs through the whole stadium for like an hour. You got a whole night to put on, brother.
just dedicated to the craft.
Yep. So just always like I said, I didn't get any knowledge, but I got a bunch of memories from the few interactions I've had with him.
Hmm.
Good times, good times. And for me, be sure to follow us on all the social medias. You can follow Country Air at Country Air Official on Facebook and Instagram, and Country Air Brand on Twitter. Like, share, subscribe to this. Tell promotions to book us because we like to wrestle and ref. This has been the Take It Home podcast. Y'all be easy. One.